What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. Remember, like I always say, keep the donations to yourself. I ain't asking you to send me no money. Keep it to yourself. It's decent outside. You might want to do something special for your baby. You want to support me, you hit the like button, bing. When you do that, it make my videos grow and a lot of people be able to see them. I kind of want to jump right into it. Today is GBE Capo birthday, the legend, Glow Gang. You want to know what's crazy is Capo would have been 30 years old, so he wasn't that young, but he lost his life very young. You know, years have passed since he died. To be honest, Capo was like one of the first deaths I seen on the internet. We all seen him bleed out on footage. That shit was crazy. A lot of people on the internet was sad as hell, crying, you know, hurt by that. It was also ops and shit, or his enemies of his and shit like that was laughing, cracking jokes, making shit funny. To be honest with you, I think Capo kind of started a lot of shit. A lot of people talk about the Mumble Flow. I think Capo invented that. In my opinion, Chief Keef started rapping like Capo once Capo passed away. Don't get me wrong, Keef always had the slow flow, but I think he was very influenced by Capo, in my opinion, with the mumble rap. Then you got to remember, you know, Capo and them had a relationship with the Migos. Remember, he wind up on the Migos. He was finna get down on their ass, you know, and then the Migos got real big with the Mumble Flow. So a lot of people say, you know, the Migos had some of that early Chicago flow in them and shit like that. The crazy part is, if you look at Capo, he was one of the first people to be wearing the 2-3 chains and wearing the designer gym shoes and the fashion and shit. He was one of the first drill rappers to put that shit on, in my opinion. You know, his death was very, very, very crazy. He lost his life chilling on the block, a drive-by. This is the crazy part about that. A lot of people was outside when somebody took an opportunity to try to kill Capo. You know, the people who they say killed Capo was actually arrested. It was 2 people arrested for Capo murder. It's just one person who picture went viral named Antoine Watkins. The crazy part is when Capo died, the getaways, they tried to get away and they end up hitting a 1-year-old baby in the stroller and killing the baby. So it was 2 people that died that day. That shit was very sad. I'm not sure if people realize, but when you land on that ground and you die, you don't give a fuck about that money. You don't give a fuck about no designer clothes. You don't give a fuck about no bitches. You don't give a fuck about no za. Only thing you care about is your last breath, you know? So a lot of people looked at that Capos Death and learned from that shit, and a lot of people didn't because they still on this internet with that wild shit. I'm going to tell you something that rubbed me the wrong way, though. You know, R.I.P. to Capo, my condolences to his family. But it was a mother who watched her son die that day. A baby. Just imagine the torment. Imagine how traumatized the motherfucking mama is for seeing that shit. A lot of people don't talk about that. We just talk about Capo because he was big in the drill culture and things like that. He was real close to Ye White. I had the opportunity to interview Ye White. He was to tell me how much love he had for Capo. And then come find out he ended up losing his life to gun violence. You know, Capo was one of them guys that was like real hot in the city. You gotta understand. He was linked with Glow Gang, which means he had Chief Keef and them enemies. He was cool with Dirk and Laron and them, which means he had Dirk and them enemies. He was cool with G Herbo and them, which means he had No Limit enemies. This guy had a lot of ops throughout the city and shit. So, you know, when you link with a lot of crews, it can get dangerous like that, in my opinion. But I wanted to bring to your attention that today is GBE Capo birthday. He would have been 30 years old. You know, his death was like the beginning of a lot of deaths that keep coming back to back to back to back, rampant, in my opinion. But you get a chance, go to YouTube, type his name in the Google bar, check out some of his music, man. Give him a view. He was a legend, man. It's the homie Truth.